Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is July 21st, 2023. It's reported that Xavi Hernandez has chosen who will be replacing Sergio Busquets in that pivot position. Also, the club have offloaded the first midfielder in this summer transfer market. And finally, it looks like Joao Felix is gonna be continue being linked to Barcelona after he met with Atletico de Madrid's CEO. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and before we begin with the news, just a quick reminder to make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It goes a long way in helping this channel continue to grow. Also, if you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, including the newest 2023-2024 Barcelona home kit, make sure you hit the kit bag. The link is down below in the description. Now, I'll begin with the sad news that Barcelona have released yet another discount or promotional program in order to try to encourage people to buy tickets at the Olympic Stadium at the top of Montjuic, where Barcelona will be playing the upcoming season, as the Spotify Camp Nou is undergoing major renovations. Now, as I reported previously, the Olympic Stadium at the top of Montjuic has a capacity of around 55,000 people. In Barcelona, we're hoping that at least half of those seats, or 27,000 of those seats, would go to season ticket holders. However, it looks like only 17,000 members have requested season tickets. So Barcelona are really worried about their ticket sale for the upcoming season. And as a result, they have been coming up with promotional plans in order to encourage people to go to the stadium and watch the Barcelona matches. Now, I initially told you about the plan that for Barcelona to discount all the tickets for the first match of the season by 50%. And now Barcelona have announced a new program where all the club members under 30 years old will be able to acquire 3 more tickets for their friends. And again, this is part of Barcelona to try to encourage people to go to the to the Olympic Stadium, which is very sad news because it's sad that Barcelona have to ask their club members to support the club, especially in this very difficult financial times. Now, speaking of the club, Barcelona have announced the 4 captains for the upcoming season. And these captains are Sergio Roberto as the first captain of Barcelona, followed by Marc ter Stegen as second captain, Ronald Araujo as the third captain, and finally Frankie de Jong as Barcelona's 4th captain. Now, to be honest, I am surprised about the captain choices for the team. I really thought Robert Lewandowski was going to be amongst the 4th captains, but nonetheless, I'm really glad to see Ronald Araujo amongst the 4 captains of Barcelona, because we've all seen through the past season his leadership skills on the field, just like those of Marc ter Stegen, who I think has been the captain of Barcelona for quite some time without having the armband. Now, before some of you start complaining about what is Xavi thinking or what is the club thinking about making Sergio Roberto the captain, I would just like to remind everyone that the Barcelona captains are chosen by the locker room themselves. So this was a vote by all the players on the Barcelona squad. So if you think that Barcelona made a mistake about electing Sergio Roberto or any of the 4 captains, that means you're saying that you know more than the team about the team itself. Now, speaking of the team, it's reported that Xavi Hernandez has chosen who will replace Sergio Busquets in that pivot position. Now, of course, Barcelona have chosen Oriol Romeo to fill that position for the next 2 upcoming seasons, maybe with the chance for renewing for 1 more. But it's reported that Xavi Hernandez has chosen who will be the replacement of Sergio Busquets in the long run and in the future. And it's no one other than Pau Prim. Now, Pau Prim is the 17-year-old pivot who currently plays in the Juvenil A, or the Barcelona Under-19. And it's reported that Xavi Hernandez has been monitoring the player for quite some time, watching his matches, watching his highlights, and reading all the reports about the player. And it seems that Xavi Hernandez is very convinced that Pau Prim is Sergio Busquets' future replacement in that pivot position. Now, it seems that Xavi Hernandez is very impressed with the player because he thinks that he's the one that best knows how to perform the Barcelona concepts. He also thinks that he's very, very similar to Sergio Busquets in the way that he plays. So Xavi Hernandez has chosen Pau Prim as the rightful heir to Sergio Busquets in that pivot position. Now, Pau Prim has been training with the first team as a result of this because Xavi Hernandez really wants to monitor the player's progression and continue watching him. And Pau Prim is also currently with the team on the USA preseason tour, where Barcelona are set to play against Juventus tomorrow in Northern California, in what will be the first match of the summer preseason. Now, speaking of midfielders, Barcelona have offloaded the first midfielder in this summer transfer market, and that player is Nico Gonzalez. Now, as I reported previously, Nico Gonzalez had stayed in Barcelona and not traveled with the team to the USA for the preseason because he was very close to closing his transfer to the Portuguese club Porto. And well, now we have news that this transfer is complete and that Nico Gonzalez will be joining Porto for 4 seasons, and where Porto are gonna be paying Barcelona 10 million euros. Now, this is good news because it was initially thought that Porto was gonna be taking Nico Gonzalez on loan, and since Barcelona really need to offload players and they need to make money during this summer transfer market in order to register the players and to meet the goals of the viability plan, it's really good to know that Barcelona have been able to pull off a permanent transfer with a 10 million euro income, which will be pure profit for the club because Nico Gonzalez came up through the academy, so Barcelona did not pay any transfer fees. Now, Nico Gonzalez just came back from an unfruitful loan spell at Valencia, where it didn't go as well as Barcelona were hoping. And even though it was initially thought that Nico Gonzalez could be the replacement for Sergio Busquets in a pivot position, it seems that the player did not quite convince the club that he is the rightful heir to Busquets. And there's also the problems of his indisciplinary actions with the club. So as a result, Barcelona have decided to permanently offload him. But nonetheless, it is reported that the club have included a buyback option just in case Nico Gonzalez does end up exploding and living up to his full potential at Porto. Barcelona will be able to buy the player back for a modest price, which we still don't know how much it is. Now, Barcelona have yet to make this transfer official, but many reports are confirming it. So we should be expecting an official announcement in the upcoming days, as Nico Gonzalez will become the second official exit from Barcelona, with Samuel Umtiti being the first one. And of course, there is Collado, who Barcelona will be letting him go or will be rescinding his contract as soon as Real Betis clear enough space on their wage bill to make the signing of the Barcelona player. Now, on to the news that it seems that the Joao Felix link to Barcelona is gonna be continuing for several more days or maybe even weeks, especially after the meeting that the Portuguese player had today with the CEO of Atletico Madrid, Gilmarín, where it's reported that Joao Felix reiterated to Atletico Madrid CEO that he wants to leave the club and that the only club he wants to join is FC Barcelona. Now, as I reported in yesterday's video, Joao Felix shocked the world in statements that he made to Fabrizio Romano on July 18th, where he said that he wanted to join Barcelona because it's always been his dream. And ever since, the player has been heavily linked with Barcelona. And even though I've been saying over and over again that Barcelona are not in negotiations with Atletico Madrid, it seems that the reports linking Joao Felix to Barcelona are gonna continue for several more days or maybe even weeks, especially after Joao Felix has made it very clear to Atletico Madrid that the only club he wants to leave to is FC Barcelona. Now, as I explained in yesterday's video, Barcelona are currently not in negotiations or in conversation with Atletico Madrid to sign the Portuguese player. Joao Felix is not a priority for Barcelona, and also the club cannot afford to pay his 80 million euro transfer fee or his 15 to 18 million euro salary per season. But nonetheless, Barcelona are monitoring the situation to see whether Atletico Madrid do end up getting desperate as the market transfer comes to a close, because Atletico Madrid have a big problem on their hand where they really want to offload the player, especially after the statements that he made, which has caused a lot of friction in the Atletico de Madrid's locker room and a lot of friction with the Atletico de Madrid fans as well. Now, speaking of possible arrivals, it's reported that the Premier League club Bournemouth are looking to sign Ivan Fresneda, and they might end up convincing the Spanish right back. Now, as I've talked about in previous videos, Ivan Fresneda is one of the most promising right backs currently in La Liga, and Barcelona were hoping to sign him during this summer transfer market so he can reinforce the right back position. However, Barcelona cannot afford the release clause that Ivan Fresneda currently has, worth 20 million euros with Real Valladolid, and they have asked the player to wait to see whether Barcelona will be able to offload several players and clear enough space on their wage bill, because Barcelona are not going to sign Ivan Fresneda if they don't know whether they're going to be able to register his contract. Now, for now, Barcelona are not ruling out the operation to sign Ivan Fresneda. The operation is on hold because, again, Barcelona first need to offload several players to register all the contract renewals and all the new signings. And then after that, if Barcelona still have enough space on their wage bill, then they'll try to sign Ivan Fresneda. And if not, then Barcelona are going to have to start the season without a right back. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I would like to invite all of you to please leave a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. And finally, I would like to invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you can stay current on all the latest news in regards to our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. And as always, Busquets Barça.